Powering Elk City. Bringing power to a remote location, such as Elk City, Idaho, is a process that is complicated and can have many externalities. Powering a remote area such as Elk City is a complex equation, and many factors must be taken into account, especially topography. Elk City is located in a mountainous region that's filled with trees. However, Elk City itself is located in a bowl, and the town is not near any major water sources. For any area, there are several possible power sources. First, hydropower, wind power, coal and gas power, and solar power are the main options that are typically used as power sources. Elk City will need to decide which one of these power sources will be the most effective to power their town. The first option Elk City could consider is hydropower, or power created when water moves through a dam. Hydropower is not a possible power source for many reasons for Elk City because there are no large nearby bodies of water, therefore a dam is not possible, and the creek running through Elk City is not full enough in the winter for an in-stream power source to last Elk City year-round. Wind power is the next power source that Elk City can consider. Wind power is harvested by wind turbines, and wind turbines need a large, flat area that has a lot of wind to work. The mountains surrounding Elk City, combined with the heavy tree population, create a wind blockade. This terrain, combined with a lack of large, flat wind affected area, removes the possibility of a wind-driven power source for Elk City. The next two power sources that should be put into Elk City's consideration are coal and gas power. Coal and gas are not feasible ways to power Elk City, however, because there are no nearby refineries, and hauling coal or gas to the remote town would be expensive and at times impossible. The figure below shows how coal and gas power work to power a town. Another possible power source is solar power, and for Elk City, solar power is the most beneficial option. In and directly around the town itself, Elk City has a large, flat area. Although large, it is not big enough for wind power. However, the area is large enough to harness solar power. Solar power is only effective if a majority of the days are sunny. Regardless of this, solar power is the most plausible power source to power the rural region of Idaho County. In simple terms, solar power harnesses energy from the sun. The sun's rays are collected by solar panels, as the photo below shows, that will be placed on the ground. After the solar panel power is collected from the panels, the energy from the sun will be converted into power that will be usable by the residents of Elk City. The panels will also charge batteries that can be utilized during the night and on cloudy days. Because the power accommodations and externalities of Elk City severely limit the possibilities of power sources, solar power is the best option. When finding the best possible power source for a town, the power accommodations of the town must be taken into consideration. For Elk City, the amount of power necessary to power the town of Elk City is dependent on the population and the energy consumption patterns of the citizens. According to the United States Energy Information Association, the average American consumer uses 10,812 kilowatt hours a year of energy, or about 901 kilowatt hours a month. According to the information that Dr. Bell provided, Elk City has 5 families that live in the town full-time that will be dependent on the energy that the solar power will provide. For the purpose of this study, we will estimate the year-round population of Elk City is 25 people. If each person uses the 901 kilowatt hours a month, a total of 22,525 kilowatt hours will be used a month or a total of 270,300 kilowatt hours a year. Broken down, the solar panels need to produce 750 kilowatt hours a day to fully power the town of Elk City. The average solar panel produces 265 watts an hour. The panels collect solar rays for an optimal 8 hours a day, each producing 2.1 kilowatts a day. Elk City would need to install 375 panels to power the city. Along with any power source or any transaction comes externalities. These externalities can change the effectiveness of the energy. The key to having a successful energy source is internalizing the externalities, or changing the negative externalities into positive externalities. One negative externality of the solar panel location in Elk City is the only location that works to house the solar panels is currently being used as farmland. The owner of the land would lose crops or revenue. Elk City residents and the Idaho government would have to fix this problem in order to have an effective source of power. One possible solution would be to grant the landowners a reduction of their electricity bill in exchange for the use of the land. Another inefficiency of solar panels is how expensive it is to install and maintain solar panels, especially in a place such as rural central Idaho. There are several methods available to fix this problem. First, the government could provide partial payment as a subsidy for using clean power. Next, either the government or a local credit union could provide a loan to the citizens of Elk City, which the town could pay off through their electricity bills each month until the panels were paid off. Lastly, Idaho County could pass a levy for a 0.5% tax increase, and the county as a whole could pay for the installation of the solar panels in Elk City. To heat their homes in the winter, Elk City will have to use a different energy source. To save power, the residents of Elk City can use wood stoves to heat their homes in the colder months. Wood is an easy accessible resource for Elk City residents to harvest, saving power and money on the power bills. Another factor to take into consideration are the part-time residents who live in Elk City. The 10 families who live in Elk City part-time for 4 weeks in the summer have 2 options for powering their homes. First, the residents can bring the gas or diesel into the town themselves and sustain themselves with generators. Second, the residents could also purchase power from the solar panels in Elk City, saving the permanent residents money.